You have asked a very simple yet a question with tremendous depth as to how you as a seeker can improve your meditation. In other words, you are worried that now after you go away from the retreat, whether you will be able to feel the effects and the currents of meditation as strongly as you are feeling here. Let me assure you that during the course of the few more days that are left for us, I will give you several inputs which will help you to keep the meditative energy within you without depleting, without it getting depleted. I will ensure that your bounce is on the upward thrust. I'll give you a simple example. Have you watched very young children? Children in the age group of 3, 4, 5, 6? And if you have not watched them, you have missed a great opportunity to come close to the most powerful energy that this planet can ever give you. Have you observed children romping, playing, laughing? Have you observed how they mingle with each other? Have you not seen them just touching somebody and then bursting into a big laughter as if a big joke has been cracked? Haven't you seen them play hide and seek with so much aplomb and so much of life force bubbling inside them, brimming? They are all the time full of energy, brimming with life. Well, they are not storehouses, but they are powerhouses of cosmic energy. Children are made in the divine mold, and they are probably not conscious of the world into which they have come. Their memory is still fixed to the original chip, the original factory settings, and so they exhibit total connection with the cosmic. Now that it is raining here, let me give you another sterling example. If we had children here, they would simply run into the rain. You will find elders coming away and seeking shelter or taking an umbrella, whereas children have the courage to plunge themselves into the lap of nature because they consider rain, trees, flowers, grass, even small animals as part of themselves. They do not differentiate one aspect of nature from themselves. They are so integrated with nature, they are so well connected with the cosmic energy that they are all the time displaying the outpouring of the cosmic through them. And that is why they have just a glass of milk and they are romping and playing for maybe 3 hours or 4 hours. If you as an adult were to do that kind of an exercise, you would have to eat an almighty big breakfast or a huge lunch. So their requirements of calories are minimal. Their output is maximum. This is the secret of meditation. All children, till they become conscious of the world in its completeness, that is the time when the cosmic battery of theirs gets discharged. And then they start living by the capacity of their brain, their mind and their emotions. They lose the independence which they exhibited as babies and toddlers, and they now seek security in the arms of the mother, in the arms of the father, in the surroundings, among their friends, etc., etc. Therefore, the succinct point that I am making is that try to spend time with the innocent children. Watch them. In fact, if you go to the primary school and spend some time quietly in the lawn nearby, you will be charged with so much energy, because those hundreds of children who are singing and dancing in the play school are exuding so much of cosmic and positive energy that a visit to a play school is like visit to an ashram, like a visit to a temple. If you do not understand this, then you have not understood meditation. Similarly, when you walk in the greens, when you go to the garden for an early morning walk, that is the time again you feel the cosmic ingress, you feel the total silence of the nature, you feel the sound of nature in your ears, what we call in traditional Indian language as Nada, N-A-D, Nada, Nada Brahma. That is, the voice of the Creator comes all the way proximal to you, and you are able to feel it, rather hear it in your sound box, which is inside the ear. Now, that is one major input to keep yourself going. Second is to indulge in any creative activity that is feasible and proximal to you and possible and least expensive. You can sing some songs, you can sing some hymns, you can sing some bhajans, you can listen to these music, you can listen to songs which are soothing, you can listen to instrumental music, you can go for long walks in areas which are unpolluted, you can be of help to the infirm, to the elderly, to those needy, you can do some charity work, and most importantly, you should also try to be successful in your profession, in your vocation, because that will help you to get the worldly appendages which are necessary to carry on your emotional part, which is required to do active meditation and deepen it. For example, once you become stabilized in meditation, your meditation is so strong that sitting in the midst of a traffic, you will be able to usher in the inner silence. But that is not possible in the beginning stages. After 2 or 3 decades of continuous dhyan, you will be able to meditate irrespective of the environment. You will not require a sterile place to do dhyan. Even if somebody has on the TV, or if somebody is having a dance program, and in your neighborhood, if there are loudspeakers blaring, it will not bother you after a certain time. And I would recommend that you must practice meditation in normal circumstances. Do not shoo away people who are talking, because it is their business and they have to talk. They have to eke out a living. You have strayed away from the path of life and you have decided to go for the supreme goal. So till they come into that situation, you cannot find fault with them. This is also a very important input for improving meditation. Do not find fault with others. Do not look at their difficulties as impediments to you. Let them go along their path. You tread along your path. And if you have this kind of ability, and if you look at all actions of human beings with kindness, with compassion, even if somebody comes who is drunk, you should not be disturbed. You should pray from within your heart that God should give him enough sanity to give away liquor and get drunk in this manner and become a nuisance for himself and his fellow beings. So, meditation is an envelope which you should wear, is like a coat which you should wear of silence, of God's blessings, of all the lectures that you have attended at this retreat. They should be all the time embracing you. You should recall all the words that have been spoken. You should recall all your conversations that you have had with me all the time. If you go on recollecting that, we will be giving you a lot of the audios and the videos to you to carry home. You should be able to play them again and again. You should gather like-minded people and see these videos and hear these audios, so that in congregations your meditation would be a shade better. If you assemble people who are not as deep as you are, or who are not such senior sadhaks, you should explain to them fundamentals of meditation. In the path to meditation, you are both a teacher and a learner simultaneously. So I would strongly advise that you should embark in disseminating this knowledge to people whom you feel would be interested in listening to you. By doing that, by becoming a teacher, you will also learn. Do not forget, the curiosity of an initial seeker is so powerful that it can trigger new nuances of meditation inside you. So do not shoo away people who ask you inconvenient questions. As you know, the more deep you dig, you get gold. Gold is not found on the superficial surfaces of the earth crust, nor is water found on the swimming on the surface of the earth. You need to dig deep. You need to struggle. You need to labor. You need to work very hard. You need to do all those things which give pain to you sometimes because they have not been part and parcel of your early life. As Jesus Christ has mentioned, embrace poverty. What does this mean? When he said embrace poverty, that doesn't mean you throw away all your bank balance. That doesn't mean you go in tattered clothes. What he meant to tell you that live modestly, live within your means. You need not exhibit all your wealth. Not only wealth, you need not exhibit all your knowledge. You need to conserve even whatever you have learned. You need to think over it. You need to reflect about it. You need to wait. You need to talk to nature and wait in patience for an answer. People who have reflected on a particular query again and again, who have virtually become a nag to nature, nature then responds, nature then yields. So when you climb those higher steps, always after a lot of struggle, when you have to go to the top of the mountain, your feet are inadequate. When the latitude or the climb is, the gradient is so steep, then you have to probably trudge on your hands virtually to reach the summit. Similarly, in life, there would be difficulties as you move along. When you go near the magnetic force, the more you go towards the center of gravity or the magnetic force, the more will be the charge that will throw you backwards. Because only and until you are able to assimilate within your nervous system a charge which is slightly more than the charge which is coming from the cosmic forces, you will not be able to reach the next summit. And therefore, you need to practice isolation. You need to practice truth. You need to practice all that is good for mankind. You need to be soft from within and very kind from without. And if you are able to practice this kind of attitude, and if you are able to look at the world with eyes of kindness, with eyes of compassion, and if you realize that all are part of the eternal family, I'm sure your dhyan will progress step by step.
Just press the red button,